Hi YouTube, it's Lena, and I'm here today with a palette bingo. Been a while. Feels weird being on camera with everything else but eyes and lips, but I am doing a palette bingo for the Makeup Revolution Emily Noel palette. It's the once, it's the big one. I didn't do a review on this because everybody's reviewed it at this point. You know if you're gonna get it or not if you want to deal with the quirks of Makeup Revolution eyeshadows, I guess we should say. To go into it shortly, Makeup Revolution eyeshadows are good for the drugstore, or at least they can be. Their stuff can be kind of hit or miss. These shadows are on the better end of Makeup Revolution shadows, I would say. I've used them in the past. I like them fine. And I really love Emily Noel, so I don't mind. And I have time to do my makeup. I'm not somebody that has to get ready in 20 minutes in the morning. So I don't mind having to fool with the eyeshadows a little bit to make them work well. Like, I don't mind if I have to apply something with my finger or go in with a setting spray to like wet the shadows or anything like that. And I can make them work, so I don't mind having to do it. But we're here for a palette bingo. She's the one that started palette bingos in the first place, so I thought it... And a friend of mine mentioned that as well in her palette bingo, that Emily Noel was the one that really started doing them, where you draw numbers for the amount of shadows you have. This one has 24, so it would be starting, big old mirror, but we would starting here with 1 and go across and do it like that. Lots of shades to play with in here. So let's get started. I have random.org up. Let's set this mirror up a little bit so that I can actually see what I'm doing. I do love this palette, that it has like this gigantic mirror that I can actually like set up. And I just dug my nail hard into Side Hustle, which pisses me off. Anyways, let's see. All right, so first number, I'm gonna draw 5. 23, so 6, that would be Corduroy, which is this dark green shade, dark matte green shade right here. Number 1, which is the cream. It is a matte white cream, which is this right here. It doesn't actually show up too much on me. Next is number 6, which is the one I just dug my nail into, Side Hustle, this kind of shimmery olive shade right here. Let's see, number 4 is number 12, which is Hi-Fi. I think this was the name of her sorority. And there we go right there. I'm getting a pretty dark look so far, which I do not mind it one bit. And finally, we have number 5, which is Good Vibes, which is this kind of shimmery maroon color. So that's what we got. I could pull other things as needed, but I just need to make sure that I use these 5 shades, which the cream will honestly probably be my brow bone highlight. Let's do that. Let's settle that right now. So first off, I'm gonna prime. This is actually my LA Colors eyeshadow primer, which surprisingly for somebody with as oily of eyelids as I get, this works just fine. Now, Emily Noel said that for this Emily Noel said that for these shadows, you really need a sticky base, so you shouldn't set your primer. So I am not going to do that, even though I normally do. And I have done that with this in the past, and I don't get nearly as much fading as some people do. Now, because I am me and I have super oily eyelids, I'm also going to go in with a base. This shouldn't affect the color at all. This is the LA Colors eyeshadow eye pencil in Seashell. It's just, you know, a white base. But it will help the shades stay on my super oily eyelids longer. And it will help the colors pop just a little bit more. Now, I didn't get the 2 of the major problem shades that everybody has talked about when reviewing this palette, which are, honestly, sadly, the 2 that she named after her children, Eve Rose and Belle Violet, which I'll swatch real quick. Since we're here, let's see, this one is Eve Rose and this one is Belle Violet, which they are on the lighter side of pigmentation. I say you add some Fix Plus to that, and you can make you know, get more pigment out of them. If you put them on top of a base, you will get more pigment out of them. That sort of thing. It depends on how much you want to work with it. Like I said, I don't mind having to kind of fiddle with this palette a little bit. Fiddle, showing how freaking southern I am. All right. Now I'm trying to think, what should I go in with? Should I make this a more green look or a more warm look? I think I'm gonna go green, actually. Oh, we're gonna go in with an eyeshadow brush. What is this from? This is the Vintage Cosmetics Company eyeshadow brush, if you are curious. And we are going to take Side Hustle. And we're going to pack it onto the lid. Let me bring you in a little bit closer. I've already done my makeup, so if I get eyeshadow everywhere, that's gonna suck. So I have to be extra freaking careful. Which is normally why I do my eyeshadow first and then my makeup, so that if I get fallout everywhere, which some of these shades do have, another thing to know, then I could just clean it up easy peasy lemon squeezy. God, I'm such a dork today. But if you're careful, it still works fine. And by patting it on instead of swiping, I managed to avoid an insane amount of fallout, thankfully. I think I will actually go in with, what was this? Pi-Fi in my outer V. This is the Alamar Cosmetics. Okay, not getting much, but we can build it up. Okay, maybe that's not a good color to put there, because it is not really showing up at all. Let's try corduroy there instead. I was going to put that in my crease, but I guess I will have to figure something else out. Do it in the crease too. Why not? I'll figure out something for that shade. Now there have also been some inconsistencies with this palette. It's actually not even for sale right now, sadly. I think they are kind of retooling the formula a little bit, which is fine. And also, some people had mold in their palettes, which is honestly gross. I would be mortified if I made a palette and that happened. Okay, I'm gonna take some of the cream, which is that white shade, with a clean blending brush from Wet n Wild, actually, and blend out my crease a little bit. But yeah, I would be mortified if, for whatever reason, probably due to the heat when it first came out, like the actual weather, some of my palettes got mold on them. I felt so bad when that happened for Emily. That is not her fault. Do a little bit of cleanup on the edges. Now what to do with Pi-Fi? Because it didn't want to go on top of this green at all. Well, how would it look on the lower lash line? This is another Vintage Cosmetics brush right here, just for like detailing work. Actually, let me spray that so it doesn't get everywhere. As you can see, the shadow does work. Just apparently not on top of that green shade, which is a thing. Let's see how Good Vibes looks in the inner corner, because I don't really have anywhere else to put it. I'm going to have to tweak the crease. I'm actually going in with the shade Prayer, which is this right here. do you guys think? I admit I'm not really in love with this look, but it's what I ended up with. So we're just gonna roll with it. Take some more of the cream and actually apply it to my brow bone up here. How did that bring it together? I'll never understand it. All right, let me put on some mascara. Maybe that's what's throwing me off right now. Also, I don't have eyeliner on, but I'll add some eyeliner too in a second with the corduroy. Actually did help. God, I always forget those little touches before I decide whether I really like a look or not. Now let's take corduroy, get some Fix Plus in there, and line my upper lash line. So I'm sure that's throwing me off a little bit too. Oh yeah. I forget, can't judge a look until you do the finishing touches. I will say putting prayer in the crease did help a bit too. So what do you guys think? Did I get a good selection? Like I said, it is very dark, but I don't mind dark. So that is it. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I do really appreciate it, and hopefully I will see you later. Bye.